Hey guys, welcome back to Church Talk. Today we're going to be talking about another church renovation that we were a part of. A few years ago, we were involved in a church that was mobile. We shared with you guys a video about some of the mobile equipment that we had to build. It's actually just a great big drum box that you can see in the thumbnail up above. You can go find that video if you want. We're talking about all the things that how we built it. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about in these videos, we just captured with not any audio or video, but just sharing pictures with you that I'm just kind of talking about them. But in this video today, I have some pictures here of that same ministry. When we were finished with mobile ministry, we found a place that we could rent. We didn't own the structure, but we were able to renovate and do whatever we needed to because it was actually a preschool. Here, let's just dive right into some of these pictures. These are you will love what we ended up doing with this space. It was really cool. So here we go. This first picture here is what you saw when you first walked into the building. So when you first walked into the building, the floors, well, they were what you see. The big mural there on the wall, and as we walk in a little bit more, this was the what we ended up using as a children's room. It was just another room to the side. It's when you first walk in the building here and you look to your left. I don't think we've done a whole lot with it because it was already made for kids. So we just we used it pretty much as it was. We may have painted a little bit. Now, this is the crazy part. This is the hallway when you first walk into where the worship center was going to be located. That's what this area is. And this is one of the classrooms that was in the worship center. Another classroom. We're just there looking at the space. There's another one of the classrooms there. There were bathrooms in every single classroom that we had to rip those bathrooms out, paint over top of murals. There was so much in this place that we had to redo. Now this is not in our rented section. This is just some pictures I thought you guys would enjoy. That was part of the area. In the other section of this building, like right beside of us, this is a swimming pool. It was a really cool area. We had some people that come to us and like, hey, can we, because we kind of had full range, even though we weren't renting this part of the building. We could still go in there as we needed to. So we had some people that come in and shot a video in there. It was a pretty cool time. But that's just some areas of the church that we didn't really do anything with. We use this area as storage. It was a really cool spot that we could have done something with, but we really never did. Going back into the kids' room here is what you're seeing. So this is what the place was before we started doing anything. The next step is the demolition step. So you saw what we had to work with, and now you're going to see how we began to demo. And fortunately for us, there was a crew of guys, part of a construction crew. They didn't have a whole lot of work going on at the time, so the leader of the crew just sent a bunch of these guys over and said, hey, help them out. And he paid for their crew and didn't charge us anything for them. He just needed to keep them busy, so he donated a lot and helped us out there, so that was awesome. But what you're seeing here is once they took the walls down, this is what it began to look like. It looks crazy, but there was a lot of work involved in this. All those classrooms come out. There's another view from what would be called the front of the sanctuary. You're looking back. What you see on the left side there is the opening going into the foyer. And here you're just seeing us, we're just trying to hang these lights the best they can. We had to hang them because like once we took the ceiling out and the walls out, that's what held up all the lighting. So we had to keep that lighting for a little while during renovation anyway. Once we were able to bring that lighting up a little bit more to where it wasn't just dangling there, it was actually hung a little bit better. You can see some of the work that's going on, some of the mess that we went through here with it's on the floor, drywall everywhere. It was just looked like a tornado hit the place. It was a mess. Now this right here is where we began to build our stage, but we just built knee walls instead of doing stringers or runners. We built knee walls up underneath. It was a very sturdy stage. You can see here where we're starting to put them together. We've got our sub that we needed to make sure fit, so we got it out of storage, put it in place to make sure that it would fit there. And then there, once all the knee walls up, we started to put the front in place, and then the plywood down. We done an inset on the stairs. This was a kind of a neat build here because we had the area back into the black right there that was just kind of excess area. We just went ahead and made it stage as well. Didn't really use it for anything for a while. It was just kind of backstage. That was mainly side stage. Just a little bit more about what the materials look like there. Just someone just shot a picture of just more materials there on the stage. This is when we're starting to put up the wall on one side of the platform here. Once again, we're just still putting up the wall. This is when we were, for whatever reason, it looks like the walls are already painted, and we still had some blacking out of the upper walls and the ceiling to do. So they have the walls covered up there so it wouldn't get the blackout on it. I believe we're installing our router right here, and maybe some of our electrical coming down. This is the area where our tech booth would eventually be. You can see he's in a Tyvek suit there. He's doing some spraying blacking out the ceiling and some of the walls. In the very beginning here, we just blacked out the stage. You can see my wife there in that picture, probably been painting up there on the platform. We just blacked everything out to kind of give us a baseline to start with. So there's that wall finished with the, well, not quite finished, but at least the drywall was finished. More pictures of just painting and doing some drywall. This is a picture we took when we were up. I don't remember what we were doing, but we were up in the lift, and they had started to bring out the chairs, and they started to place the chairs out. So you can still see the floor was a mess. So we'd never really done anything with the floor. We didn't plan to. It was just a concrete floor, so we just cleaned it up and left it as it was. Ended up looking pretty cool at the end. So it's just more pictures of just looking down from the lift. Now there's a picture of our first service. A lot of people were there. We opened up on Easter Day, and we were completely packed out and full. And I think no one really knew what to expect from that space because it still wasn't quite finished, but we needed to get in pretty quickly. And the reason for that wall on the right side was behind that wall, it went into another classroom, went into another section of the building. Because actually, I believe this building used to be a grocery store, a food land, or something like that. And then that back section back here, we used it as offices. So we couldn't really do anything with that. We couldn't take that wall out or anything, that you're seeing there. That was pretty much the back structure. So that right side of that wall, that L-shaped wall that you saw, that was to cover up that door and to give an access point so you can walk back behind. And so then what you're seeing now is the start of another wall that would match the right side wall. So that back here, when you're looking at it from this point, it's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. You have a wall on the left and a wall on the right, and we would eventually put our drums in the center. There's just a picture from the soundboard. At that point, we were still using, was not using a digital board yet. We were still using an analog board. We went from what you see here, from just having black walls, having some walls here that you could actually see. We put wooden walls up. They ended up looking really nice. They gave a good pop of color. At this point right here, we still did not have any plexiglass in front of the drums. The drums were extremely loud in this building. Everything was concrete, but eventually we were able to get some plexiglass up and do an enclosure for the drums. We're still seeing we were in there quite a while with no enclosure. We just had to be mindful of it. Here's another picture of what things begin to look like. There's me and my wife before one of the services. But here is the final picture of the church, of the stage. we hung the lights up in the back. Now right now we don't have our stage lights on, so it's really hard to see some of it, but you can see how the plexiglass came out and give kind of a three-sided plexiglass there for the drums. Now this stage or this drum enclosure was really nice. We were able to like I say, bring those three pieces of plexiglass, kind of bring them out at an angle, and the front piece was not at an angle, it was straight on with the congregation, so it gave a little bit more room. The drums recessed back behind those two walls, similar to what we had at the other building that when we took the baptism out. But this way the drums were not on the stage. They were kind of separate. I mean, they were on the stage, but they were recessed back behind those walls. So you could access the drums from either side. We could lock the doors, and it was relatively quiet. The drums weren't very loud after we recessed them and closed them, so we were able to put them in the sound system, and you could hear so much better. Like say, this building that we were in, everything was concrete. The floors were concrete, walls were block, the ceiling was metal, so it was a nightmare trying to get the sound under control. We didn't have the budget to really do a lot of sound absorption and put up some sound panels in the room. So what we ended up doing is we took pieces of carpet, like 2-foot carpet squares, and we put them up on the wall, and that actually helped a lot. Just putting pieces of carpet up on the wall helped out a ton with the echo and the sound. So you'd really be surprised at just what small things like that will do. So if you don't have the budget to go with some real nice acoustic treatment in your church, sometimes just carpeting things, or sometimes just getting creative with things, that they'll help out a lot. The carpet actually looked nice on the wall, was easy to put up, and it worked. Now, did it work as well as acoustic treatment? No. I'm sure that it did not, but it helped out a bunch, helped out a lot. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video of just this renovation. Like I say, this was a temporary thing, but we did do a lot of renovations to make this building kind of our own. But yeah, this renovation was a lot of work. Like I say, the church didn't own the building, but they were able to renovate what they needed. So a ton of work making that space into what we needed it at the time. You guys share with me your thoughts, your ideas, maybe something you saw in the videos. Like, post a comment down below. Head over to our Church Talk Facebook page and drop a picture of your renovation in there. I'd love to see what you guys have done in your church renovations. Like I say, we've been a part of a few of them now, and they're a ton of work, but when you're done with them, they so much better when you update things. So again, thank you guys for watching. If this is the type of content that you like, to be sure to hit the subscribe so you can be notified of when we do more videos. So guys, that's it for us today. We'll see you guys next time on Church Talk.